Welcome to the Tech Show. I'm Sonya Gavankar. Today we field test the legendary camera on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. We have your tech news in the latest, and in Take My Money, it promises to level up your streaming in music. All that and more coming up on the Tech Show. Now it's time for the latest. Part of a broader app update, Airbnb introduced a new feature that allows travelers to book services and experiences like getting a massage, haircut, or chef-prepared meals, or taking part in some activity. These new offerings can be added to your stay, but they can also be booked independently, Airbnb says. The move is meant to capitalize on traffic Airbnb's site already receives. During Airbnb's Q1 2025 call, CEO Brian Chesky said that its service was accessed by over 1.5 billion devices in the last year, but he pointed out that many people come to the site and don't book a home. It also brings Airbnb more directly in competition with other travel companies such as TripAdvisor, Bookings.com, Viator, and Get Your Guide, and service providers like Yelp. Initially, Airbnb will allow users to book services across 10 categories, including chefs, catering, prepared meals, photography, massages, spa treatments, personal training, hair, nails, and makeup. The services will be offered in 260 cities worldwide across 8 countries. Airbnb is also launching exclusive experiences on its platform called Airbnb Originals, which involves celebrity partnerships. These include things like pastry making at French Bastard's Bakery with chef Rafaela Albaz, or playing beach volleyball with Olympian Carolina Solberg on Rio's Leblon Beach. These experiences and services are a way to experience a city like a local. We think that these are natural extensions to home, Judson Copeland, VP of Product Marketing at Airbnb, told TechCrunch over a call. What's great about Airbnb is that you can get a unique accommodation that you can't find anywhere else. We think that our new offerings do the same. Copeland believes that Airbnb experiences may inspire people to travel and take a trip that they might not have thought about. Plus, he thinks the new offerings can lead to people discovering new things to do in their own town. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Rise up this morning, smile with the rest.
Matt Reiner, Matt Reiner, best-selling author and future-proof advisor, is a visionary leader and innovator in the financial advisory space, dedicated to shaping the future of wealth management and the managing partner of Capital Investment Advisors. Oh, as.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way you're going to save that.
Matt
Reiner.
Call
Reiner.
As if that's going to help. Matt Reiner, best-selling author and future-proof advisor, is a visionary leader and innovator in the financial advisory space, dedicated to shaping the future of wealth management. As the managing partner of Capital Investment Advisors and CEO and co-founder of Wella Strategies, Matt has leveraged his over 15 years of industry experience to transform how hundreds of financial advisors serve their clients and grow their businesses. And he's here today to talk about the state of investing. Matt, welcome to the Tech Show.
Hey there, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So Matt, what is the state of investing today?
Yeah, I think that the state of investing, there's a lot of that is still common, but there's a lot that is evolving with regards to the world around us. And within our recent study, the Blueprint to Future-Proof Advising, we found that the affluent Americans still find extreme value in a human financial advisor. I think that that is the kind of win for the industry right now, that 89% of affluent Americans, that's Americans with more than $100,000 of investable assets, believe that a human financial advisor delivers more value than technology alone can. But the thing is that they're asking for a bit more. They say that also you must stay up not just with financial developments, but also stay up technologically. And that is coming from all generations, not just the young generation that's growing their asset base.
Is AI the future of financial planning and investing?
Last I read, it was about 10% of all Americans are utilizing AI on a daily basis. And the thing is that over half of affluent Americans that have more than $1 million of investable assets from my study showed that they would leave a financial advisor if they didn't have up-to-date technology. So if we're not staying up to date, we're not staying forward-looking with technology, then people are going to start to assume that our investment advice is not as relevant or poignant as necessary.
What do clients really want help with? Are they looking for more of a purpose over performance of finance?
So the thing is that what we do within finance today of investment management and planning and financial planning is table stakes. And that's what the affluent Americans in our study had told us, is that in order for advisors to protect themselves, to create a moat amongst transformation or disruption in our industry, we must go to where we are most uncomfortable. First being what we've already talked about, technology. Understanding, investing time and effort into experimenting with technology. But the second is all around purpose. 88% of affluent Americans believe that it is the role of a financial advisor to help them define their purpose. And that's why it's an opportunity, is that the planning and the portfolio are the first two steps, but those two steps can be accomplished very quickly alongside the utilization and augmentation with AI.
This is great information, Matt. Where can we go to learn more?
Yeah, head on over to mattreiner.com. You can download the entire study. It's a white paper, 22 pages with all the data and the 5 different trends, and that's where I post all of my information. And you can also listen in and subscribe to my podcast, the Future Proof Advisor podcast, on all of the different podcast networks out there, and you can follow me on YouTube as well. So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for being here, Matt. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is out in the world, but how many of us are ready to upgrade? These new Pro models don't call any better or text any faster. It's really all about the camera. So let's see how impressive the new Pro Max camera is, courtesy of That Icelandic Guy in today's field test.
So I just picked up the brand new iPhone 17 and I'm about to test it out with my critical eye as a photographer. Basically, I'm not here to pixel peep or run any charts. I just want to share what it really is like to shoot with it and whether this feels like an actual step forward in photography or just another one of them shiny Apple gimmicks. Now, the truth is, I've been a professional photographer for years and I've taken some really good photos with just smartphone cameras in the past. So I'm genuinely curious what this camera can deliver, the iPhone 17. Now, as you can see, I went with the trend and picked up the Cosmic Orange, but before you get all on my ass being like, oh, you're just chasing blah, 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 whatever you're gonna say, then, as you can see, my car is orange, my beanie is orange, my freaking beard is orange, and my pants, and also my hair is also orange. I mean, what can I say? I like orange, you know? Maybe I should just change my name here on this platform to That Orange Guy. And by the way, this footage that you're looking at is filmed with this new iPhone. It's actually the wide-angle lens, but this channel is not about videography. We're gonna check what it can do for us photographers. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there are a few things that really excites me about this little device. For the starters, this 8x zoom that we now have with decent quality is something that I think is pretty sick. Also, I'm really looking forward to trying out this wide-angle lens that this phone is equipped with. Now, prior to this phone, I was using the iPhone 14. So I'm actually expecting quite the leap, or what do you say, quite the upgrade to pretty much everything. So if you feel like your boy here is a little bit too excited, then it's not because I'm an Apple fanboy, I'm actually kind of not. Then it's just because it's probably an insane upgrade, you know? Insane is probably overselling it, a little YouTube lingo here. It's probably quite the upgrade. That's a more moderate way of describing it. Let's check it out, you know? Alright, so here I have the camera, and as you can see, we have 0.5, the wide-angle lens, 1, 2x, 4x and 8x, all with pretty good quality. One thing I found a little bit cool is that when you switch to the 8x, you see up in the left corner, you get these pictures which shows you where in the image you're zooming into. Is this useful? I don't know, but it's a little bit cool, you know. Now the phone that I'm upgrading from, as I said before, is the iPhone 14 Pro Max. I think this is a great phone and I actually bought it a year old, used. And when it comes to Android phones, I've pretty much tried and used everything under the sun, from LG to Samsung, Huawei, and a lot of Sony Xperia. I actually used to work a ton with Sony Xperia, and I think some of you guys might know that I used to make a lot of video with them, and this year I didn't. And I did get a few comments from people asking, where is your Xperia video? And the reason I didn't do one is because I didn't want to, because I'd been using an iPhone, and if I'm not using a product 100% as my everyday thing, I'm not going to get or say yes to getting paid for promoting it. I can't do that, you know. So what's probably my best tip of shooting and capturing proper photos with a smartphone, that would be to underexpose your photos. And the reason you do this is because you want to protect your highlights. It's much easier in post-production to retrieve information in the highlights than in the shadows. And if you blow out your highlights, it's very hard to recover them. Now the trick is then to just figure out how far can you underexpose your photos. On my camera I know, and on my smartphones I know as well. On this one I'm figuring it a little bit out, but underexposing, my friend, and you're gonna get very nice shots. The reason I got this is because I am a professional photographer and a content creator, and I thought that it was kind of time right now. You see, I rely a ton on my phone for my work. Not necessarily for photography, but it's really nice if a phone can be your secondary camera. And I think this might actually be it. Let's see, and only time will tell. But more importantly for me is to create content. To be able to whip it out and take photos that are good enough or even actually pretty damn sick. And also the video capabilities. A lot of the B-roll and things that I need are just taking up a phone and filming because it's so convenient. And I don't have to haul this big camera out. I can just do some stuff with only my phone. And I've been looking at the photos and the videos I've been creating now and taking, and to my eye, on this small screen, it looks pretty damn good. By the way, one thing that I really like, and I think this was introduced in the iPhone 16, but it's not on the 14 that I had, is this little button right here. You can use it as a shutter button, which I like. On my Xperia that I used prior buying the 14, then you had this. And I like this because it feels a little bit more like a camera. You just take it and use it like this. Is it a gimmick? A little bit, but a pretty nice little gimmick, you know. Now, I think a question a lot of people ask themselves is, could this replace a camera? Could this be your main camera? For sure, but if you're serious about photography, then I don't think so. If you're truly serious and passionate about photography, this is not gonna be it. And you would like a full frame system or APC system, or at least a system with an interchangeable lenses where you can change lenses and all that good stuff. But could it be a secondary camera? Hell yes, like 100%. But one thing that I wish is a little viewfinder. Now, I don't know if I'm old school or whatnot, but I like when I'm taking photos to line it up with my eyes right here. Now, had this had a viewfinder, I think it would be pretty cool. Would it make the phone a little bit more clunky? I don't know, but you Apple engineers, you have a lot of money. Figure out some sort of viewfinder, and I think that would be a really enjoyable experience, you know? By the way, all of the photos that you're seeing in this video are all edited with my mobile preset pack that is specifically made for smartphone photos. This is what I personally use to edit every single one of the photos that I shoot with a smartphone, and I think it's pretty good. You can find it for a little money in the description down below, but better yet, you can also find my master bundle, which is basically all of my digital products worth a few $100s bundled into one pack that you can get for less than $100. This is a great deal, and I'm not sure how much longer I will run this bundle offer, and you can find that as well in the description down below. Alright, so welcome back to the editing cave. Here is where I, feel the best. Windows closed down in the dark, just looking at photos. And I've been looking a little bit at the photos from the iPhone 17 Pro Max. But in my opinion, I'm of course pretty impressed. I'm coming from the old iPhone 14, and before that I was using some older Android version. And I mean, I'm always a bit amazed how far the camera technology has come in photos in smartphones in general. With that being said, every time that I get a new equipment, especially smartphones, because they're so hyped and there's so much hype around them, and these companies are so good at creating this fear of missing out, this FOMO feeling, that every time I buy myself a new camera or new iPhone, I'm really excited, take it out of the box, and I'm like, oh yes, of course, it's just another phone. A really fucking expensive phone, matter of fact. And what I want to say with that is that I don't think anybody has to upgrade just for the sake of it. I mean, for the price, I live in Sweden, we have 25% VAT. I paid $2,000+ for this phone right here. It's ridiculous. You can buy a really good camera and a lens for that money. So if you're getting this thinking, yeah, I'm going to get this for the cameras just because of that, no bueno in my opinion. But as a sick supercomputer that also has phone capabilities, so you can like call off it and all that, I know it's pretty sick. Also with a camera, then I think it's pretty good. And I know that I've just been testing it out now for a few hours. I mean, it's super sunny outside, so it's just like playing around with it a little bit. But I can already feel that this could be an excellent secondary camera. Of course, it's not going to replace my big cameras or some other cameras that I use to capture my main photos, but we always carry these devices with us anywhere we go. And having great cameras on your phone is fantastic if you're as obsessed with photography as me. I read a post from my buddy Gadget. His Instagram is @withgar, and he's been playing around with his iPhone 17 Pro Max for like 1 or 2 weeks now. And the photos he's been capturing with is absolutely fantastic. I'll throw them up here. Really, really good. And in his post, he was saying that he's actually feeling that it's replacing his smaller point-and-shoot cameras that he used to carry with him, because he's just so impressed by the photo capabilities. However, I must admit, I'm really excited to try it out more, especially in a lot of different lighting conditions, and really putting it to some serious test. Then I feel like I have a good understanding of what it can actually do.
We have to take a break, but there's more of the tech show right after this. Welcome back to the Tech Show. Since we don't have to sock away money for a major console this holiday season, let's look at the games we can pre-order on This Week in Games.
2026 is stacked with some of the biggest releases coming to PS5, so let's see what we have in store. Hello everyone, it's Aidan from Push Square here, and now that we've had some big announcements, I reckon now would be a good time to break down the 15 biggest games that we know are heading to PS5 in 2026. But before we dig into it, remember to subscribe to the channel for more PlayStation video content just like this. We're starting with a locked-in horror blockbuster. Resident Evil Requiem is the 9th mainline entry in this long-running series. This time it's got a new protagonist in the form of Grace Ashcroft, daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft from the RE Outbreak series. Well, it's a few years down the line at this point. Grace is an FBI analyst and she's returning to the hotel where her mother was murdered in a big old mystery that leads her to the crumbling ruins of Raccoon City. It's blending the remakes with the first person entries by actually featuring both first and third person, and it features a brand new, terrifyingly persistent creature that'll hunt you down just like Mr. X. Man, I cannot wait for this one. It's dropping on PS5 February 27th. We finally got our first look at IO Interactive's long-awaited 007 First Light, a blend of Bond action with the meticulous level design of a Hitman game. Well, the extended look at a recent State of Play showed off the incredible density of its levels and a bit of driving, but the most impressive part for me was the gunplay and action. Obviously, it's against the point to get into shootouts in Hitman, but I always found that aspect of the game quite stale. This looks frenetic, and there's an impressive amount of unique animations and, just classic Bond stuff. I have to say, the frame rate on the PS5 Pro footage that was shown was a bit choppy, so I really do hope that IO is able to smooth things out come launch. But man, this should be a hell of a time, and it's coming to PS5 March 27th, 2026. Adopting both ninja and samurai combat styles, Neo 3 is taking this Souls-like experience to the next level. Scheduled in for early 2026, you're tasked with conquering the Crucible and becoming the Shogun. The game features what it calls an open field, allowing you to explore a dark samurai world to your heart's content. And coming back to that dual combat style, Samurai style is fairly similar to the combat from previous Neo games with some enhancements. However, ninja style excels in quick movements like dodging and aerial attacks, along with various ninjutsu techniques. You can switch back and forth between these two styles on the fly, adding a whole other layer to the already cracking combat system from the Neo series. It's scheduled to come to PS5 early 2026. Crimson Desert is shaping up to be one of the biggest fantasy RPGs of 2026. It's a sprawling open-world action game from developer Pearl Abyss, set in the continent of Pywell. There's obviously conflict to be found, pretty and flashy action combat, on top of a plethora of wee bits and bobs to do if you fancy just chilling out in this world. It's got some cracking looking graphics, so I am holding out a wee bit to see how it all runs on the PS5, but it's hard not to get swept up in the gameplay that's been shown so far. Here's hoping it sticks the landing when it launches Q1 2026. What really is there to say? Grand Theft Auto 6 is easily one of the most hotly anticipated games in recent memory. Rockstar sure do have a lot of hype to live up to with this one, but even from the tiny little snippets that we've seen, it looks like the most immersive and densely packed open world the story developer has ever created. There's so much I'd still love to know about the game, like how GTA Online will evolve, for example, and what changes have been made to the gameplay. But man, it's exciting stuff getting stuck into a new Rockstar game. So get your holidays booked, because GTA 6 is coming to PS5 May 26. From Supermassive Games, Directive 8020 is a single-player narrative experience set in a dark and gory sci-fi world. Stuck on a ship filled with human-mimicking creatures or aliens, Directive 8020 is going to feature those split-second decisions where characters can live or die. It looks like this is one of Supermassive's biggest titles yet, and the whole premise of anyone potentially being a mimicking alien is really cool. It ties in nicely with who you decide to trust, and I think it could be really special with that decision mechanic. Admittedly, I haven't really played many of the dark picture Supermassive games, but this certainly piques my interest. It's scheduled for release in the first half of 2026.
We have to take one final break, then we're back with Take My Money right here on The Tech Show. Stay with us. Now it's time for Take My Money. This time, you can renew, in my case, my dad's old hi-fi speakers.
Old speakers sound incredible, full of warmth, depth, and power, but they're stuck in one place and far from plug and play. Introducing SoundUp, a 100-watt portable amplifier with built-in Bluetooth and a long-lasting battery. It revives any speaker, old or new, so you can enjoy true hi-fi sound anywhere. SoundUp delivers 100 watts of clean audio power, and with a 10.4 amp-hour battery, you get up to 40 hours of playtime. Unlike small portables, SoundUp preserves the depth, tone, and detail your speakers were built for. We've engineered, built, and tested SoundUp to deliver uncompromising audio performance. Take your music anywhere. A party, backyard dinner, football game, or just a cozy night on the sofa.
I had to watch this video twice to really understand what they were selling, and then when I did, I realized that the two awesome speakers that my dad built 50 years ago that are in my basement could be brought back to life. So I'm kind of jazzed about this, and I don't want to make any promises, but I'm going to reach out to OK SoundUp and find out if they'll send us one to test, and then I'll decide if they're going to take my money. They're going to end up taking my money. Thanks for joining us on The Tech Show this week. Follow us at The Tech Show TV and join the conversation. Tech you later.